The 1980s and 90s were an era of high-cut spandex leotards, fitness videos, and fat-free everything. Supermarket shelves around the U.S. suddenly overflowed with dieting beverages and snacks, all promising effortless weight loss, which scientifically is the best kind of weight loss. Atop this mountain of products stood the SlimFast meal replacement shakes, which took center stage in the 80s diet beverage trend. Today on Weird History Food, we're talking about the rise and fall of the SlimFast diet craze, which goes far beyond its parade of celebrity endorsements. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel. After that, leave a comment and let us know what other diet fads you would like to hear about. Okay, time to take a big chocolatey guzzle of diet shake history. SlimFast's story is deeply intertwined with ebbs and flows inherent to the dieting culture that have been pervasive for centuries. In fact, the first liquid diet is said to have originated in 1028, when William the Conqueror, portly from middle-aged weight gain and embarrassed by his girth, vowed to consume nothing but wine and spirits until he regained his svelte figure. That, didn't work. Next time, maybe try steamed broccoli. But weight loss trends persisted, and shedding pounds by any means necessary often took precedent over meeting minimum daily nutrition requirements. So where does our opaque liquid protagonist SlimFast fit into this story? Thompson Medical Company, SlimFast's sinister-sounding parent company, was established in 1945 by S. Daniel Abraham after he left his family's medical business to branch out on his own. His first step? Acquiring the rights to an itch-relieving cream, which he used to build a reputation and establish his firm. Nothing builds trust like peddling an itch cream. You just believe in a guy like that. Abraham continued to grow his business, quickly expanding into diet products after observing their market potential. His diet product line began with a hunger-suppressing gum he called Slim Mint Gum in 1956. The gum contained a topical anesthetic called benzocaine, more commonly known as Orajel, because those were the days you could just put powerful drugs in food and sell it to people. We call those the good old days. Despite generating legal controversy from the federal government, Slim Mint Gum was a modest success that led Abraham to develop a diet pill called Figure Aid in 1960. By the 1970s, liquid diets were becoming more mainstream as a means to drop pounds quickly, and Abraham saw an opening for a new product line. Abraham launched SlimFast in 1976, as other liquid diets were also entering the marketplace. SlimFast was a powder that, when mixed with skim milk, was supposed to resemble a milkshake. The concoction was intended to be a meal replacer, meaning you drink a glass of SlimFast at breakfast and lunch instead of actually eating anything. Then you'd round out the day's calories with a sensible dinner, meaning not nachos. Though pharmaceutical diet pills had been popular since the development of dinitrophenol in the 1930s, manufactured liquid-based diet products had yet to be mass-produced and marketed to consumers. Nobody really knew how to convince the public to buy them, so Thompson Medical was dipping its toes into uncharted waters when it came to promotion, and the market suddenly became very crowded. In 1976, the same year SlimFast was released, a popular book called The Last Chance Diet was also published. The book advised drinking a very low-calorie, high-protein liquid a few times a day. Liquid diets, more than 50 of them, began flooding store shelves under various brand names. Some promoted only 300 calories a day, and others featured a main ingredient that was an enticing blend of bovine byproducts, including enzymatically pre-digested cowhide. Pre-digested cowhide? I can already feel the pounds falling off. But the liquid diet trend hit an early snag. By 1977, data from the Center for Disease Control suggested that at least 15 deaths had been linked to the low-calorie liquid diet trend. The FDA jumped into action, issuing warnings about the dangers of liquid dieting products, and pulling SlimFast and other products of its kind from store shelves. Despite the struggles associated with the original release of SlimFast in 1977, Thompson Medical decided to re-release the diet shake in the early 1980s, also known as the Try Again decade. And it worked, kind of. Well, not at first. By 1984, Abraham had already recorded earnings of $197 million thanks to SlimFast, prompting him to continue pushing development and promotion. In 1989, the company caught wind of a weight loss wager between Los Angeles Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda and two of his players, Oral Hershiser and Kirk Gibson. If Lasorda lost 35 pounds, the two players would donate $20,000 each to a charity of Lasorda's choice. SlimFast saw an opening. The The high-stakes wager was the promotional opportunity SlimFast needed to compete with the celebrity endorsements other weight loss beverages were attracting, such as OptiFast's deal with Oprah Winfrey. Lasorda agreed to have the wager sponsored by Ultra SlimFast. He lost the weight, and Hershiser and Gibson donated money to the Sisters of Mercy Convent in Nashville, Tennessee, preventing the nuns' eviction. Dropping pounds for the Lord. Attaboy, Tommy. It's like the Blues Brothers sequel we didn't know we wanted, instead of the one we didn't want. When SlimFast brought on Lasorda as its first official celebrity endorser, the company experienced an impressive uptick in sales and customer engagement. According to research conducted by SlimFast, Lasorda was an especially effective spokesman with female consumers. Women found him to be credible because he was a man admitting to a weight problem on national television, and he was showing successful results due to his use of the SlimFast product. Ladies love cool Tommy, especially those nuns. With this research in hand, combined with the campaign's positive sales returns, Abraham decided to expand SlimFast's roster of celebrity spokespeople. Along with a freshly minted slogan, SlimFast Way of Life, the company released a new collection of advertisements featuring endorsements from celebrities like then New York Mayor Ed Koch, Frank and Kathy Lee Gifford, Peter DeLuise, and Mel Torme. And if you're anything like us, you don't make a single purchase until Mel Torme weighs in. Despite the diet shake's popularity, SlimFast and its competitors earned a less than positive reputation among doctors and dietitians. Aside from concerns about daily nutrient intake, doctors were also concerned the shakes offered a no-brain approach to dieting. Oh yeah, that's the whole point. Haven't you been listening? Even if dieters did lose weight, there was no behavioral learning associated with the process that would help them keep the weight off without the shakes. Nutritionist Mindy Herman was quoted in a Washington Post article pointing out that with SlimFast, nobody is teaching you how to eat once you've finished losing weight. Many worried that the shakes, advertised as breakfast and lunch meal replacements, would simply prompt consumers to put off their daily binge until dinner time. SlimFast wasn't only running into trouble with medical professionals. Although the dieting industry has always been saturated with options, from dieting pills to meal plans and low-calorie bars, the rapid rise of SlimFast diet shakes caught the attention of more than just consumers. Abraham soon found he no longer had a stranglehold on his target market, and knockoff brands and competing diet drinks flooded supermarkets. SlimFast's major competitors in the mid-90s were Dynatrim and OptiFast, with a handful of other brands close behind, including Dick Gregory's Slim Safe Bahamian Diet, Diet Fast, Twin Fast, Slim and Trim, and Firmaloss. Oh boy. Can we just mix all those together and make a super weight loss shake? Like the curse from that movie Thinner? Yeah, you're right. Probably not. At the end of 1999, SlimFast dominated, with 46% of the target market and more than $611 million in sales. According to estimates, growth was on the horizon, which is partly why the multinational company Unilever offered to buy SlimFast for $2.4 billion. Unilever hoped to use its international connections to market SlimFast products abroad. Up until then, more than 90% of the sales had been in the U.S. By 2000, however, much to Unilever's dismay, the dieting industry had pivoted to a new megatrend: the low-carb, high-protein diet, most notably the Atkins diet. SlimFast had spent nearly a decade at the top, but the Atkins diet offered a fresh new spin, promoting meals high in protein but low in carbs and sugar. Whether a result of coincidence or competition, SlimFast sales began to decline substantially as Atkins rose in popularity. SlimFast would see its sales decrease significantly for the next 4 years, dropping by 21% in 2003 alone. In response, SlimFast began developing new marketing strategies. Atkins, like the liquid diets before, was being criticized by dietitians for being unhealthy, with its promotion of a high-fat diet causing particular concern. SlimFast responded by launching new products including soup and snacks, and ran a marketing campaign focusing on the safety of its weight loss products. And in 2004, SlimFast ran a successful series of ad campaigns featuring Oscar-winning actor and comedian Whoopi Goldberg, unfortunately subjecting America to more Whoopi Goldberg. The campaign came to a swift halt, however, after Goldberg made controversial comments about President George W. Bush during a fundraiser for then Democratic nominee John Kerry. As reported in the New York Post, Goldberg delivered an X-rated rant full of sexual innuendos against President Bush late night at a Radio City gala. Waving a bottle of wine, she fired off a stream of vulgar sexual wordplays on Bush's name, and boasted that she'd refuse to let Team Kerry clear her material. Oh, Whoopi, you are a national treasure. Angry customers flooded SlimFast's inbox with complaints, prompting the company to end its relationship with her. SlimFast struggled to stay relevant in the 2000s, as it continually found itself falling behind new and evolving diet trends. Other companies began focusing on healthier, more nutritious food choices, in contrast to those lose-weight fast schemes that dominated the 2 previous decades. Yet another wave of new products was appealing to the dieting consumer, including special case cereals and other products that relied on wholesome ingredients rather than artificial sweeteners and chemicals. Although SlimFast attempted to adapt to the new dieting environment of the 2000s, the company's performance fell short of expectations, leading to a steady downward spiral. At the height of its diet shake empire, SlimFast was making $850 million in sales annually. Yet in 2014, sales had dropped to $140 million, a thin slice of the market the company had once dominated. The halcyon days of Tommy Lasorda fitting into comfortably snug jeans to save a convent were far behind them. That year, Unilever sold the SlimFast brand to a private equity firm called Kainos Capital, the parent company of KFS Holdings. Within 4 years of this purchase, KFS Holdings had sold SlimFast to an Irish nutrition company called Glanbia for $350 million, along with a few other products. But don't count the grandpappy of diet shakes out so SlimFast. As recently as 2020, SlimFast reformulated its products and now has released offerings to keep up with the current diet trends, including keto, low carb, and immunity product lines. They also launched a diet program with the SlimFast Together app, which allows users to customize their diet plans and track their progress. All they need to do now is secure an exciting celebrity endorsement and they'll be back on top. What's Mel Torme up to? So what do you think? Did you ever try SlimFast? Are you unhappy with who you are? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from Weird History Food.